Hilson reporting. Well, we're joined now by the former Navy Chief, Admiral Lord West, who was first Sea Lord when the invasion began in 2003. And Admiral, what I'm wondering is whether, now that you look back, the chronology of what was going on from your office, to what extent it began to tell you that something was going on that you were not being told about.
Well, in fact, I was, the year before this started, in 2002, I was the Commander-in-Chief of the Fleet, the operational commander of the fleet. And in July of that year, I was told by someone very, very high up that we would be invading Iraq with the Americans. And I had a meeting with my fleet command team, and I said I want the Navy and Marines ready for war in the Northern Gulf, because I had no idea of what the operation was going to be, by the 31st of December this year. That was 2002.
How high does very, very high up get?
It wasn't the first Sea. It wasn't the first Sea Lord, and it wasn't as high as you can get, but it was very high up. That's all I'm willing to say, really.
Right.
And I knew, for example, we would need mine countermeasures vessels, and I said, right, we'll sail them after the summer leave because they take longer to get there. The excuse we'll use is they're doing exercises. Now, I wouldn't have done those things off my own bat. You don't wake up in your bath in the morning and say, let's get ready for war and sail these. Someone told me, so I know someone told me. Now, I'm sure in Chilcot...
So we're talking about a chronology which is much, much earlier than this whole, the idea of going to the UN, getting sort of all sorts of sanctions and...
Absolutely, but I'm sure the answer from people will be, well, until you actually make the decision, it's all very well, you're getting ready for it, everything else. But it was more than that, I felt. I certainly felt it was more than that. So when in August, late August, the first Sea Lord left and I went and relieved him, and I then moved into the first Sea Lord, so I was in the corridors of power, I was able to see what was going on, and there were discussions about, would we be going, the Army, for example, wanted to order kit and weren't allowed to.
But let's cut to the chase. I mean, what you're really saying is that Tony Blair had decided we were going to invade Iraq, and he knew when. You didn't know exactly when, but you knew something was cooking.
I don't think they knew when, but I think the intention was to invade Iraq. I mean, that's certainly my belief. Now, I might be wrong, I don't know, but that was my belief. And interestingly, I received an email today as a result of the fact I'd said something from someone who was very involved with getting Storm Shadow. This is a missile bus bunkers carried by tornado aircraft. They weren't ready for it. They were told in September, get this ready, we need it by March.
Someone in the weapons production end of life was asked to provide stuff that you would need for the invasion.
So
let me just test you on this, because you presumably told Lord Chilcot all of this, right?
Well, I was never asked by Lord Chilcot to give evidence, so
I'm sorry.
I'm delighted I won't be...
The first Sea Lord of the time was not asked to go and speak to Lord Chilcot.
Absolutely, I was not asked to speak, but as I say, I'm quite delighted, because hopefully that means I won't be involved in anything that spins out of it.
But the serious point is that you knew that from everything around you, that war was going to happen. And
to me it seemed...
We had not yet got the resolutions from the UN.
No, to me it seemed... the way I would put it is, I felt there had been a decision this was going to happen, and then as we got nearer and nearer to the end of the year, then the following year, people were casting around for let's find an excuse for why we should, a better reason. I mean, the reason to me, I thought, when people told me, first of all, in July, was, well, Saddam Hussein has been trying to shoot down our aircraft, doing the no-fly zone. He's actually killing a lot of his own people. He's a danger. I'd been Chief of Defence Intelligence for 3 years, from 1997 to 2000, and I did not believe the issue that there were lots of weapons of mass destruction.
People are going to find it absolutely incredible that such a crucial figure in the whole build-up to war was never spoken to by Sir Jon Chilcot. But on that note, we'll thank you very much indeed, Admiral. Thank you for talking to us.